Alright, so this is the second trip out to the new spot. I just dropped a few things off there. Making the final trip back in with the pack. I think it's gonna be pretty cold and rainy. It's been raining for a few days, so brought a little extra stuff. Good little spot. I don't think anyone's found it yet, fortunately. I did see at the end of the road, though, a bunch of new stuff had been dumped there. I don't understand what the hell's wrong with these people. Gotta come out here, dump all their shit. Alright, there we go. There's the fire screen. It's a great little spot. Got super cold last time. Real windy. Didn't do a lot of video. Had to basically just feed the fire the entire time. And when I was packing up to leave, snow started to fall. And by the time I got back to town, there were a couple inches on the ground. It's not real usual for our area. It's pretty insane. Water's still here from last time. That's good. Hit it in that stump over there. Big old giant cedar trees they cut down, burned the stumps at one point, long time ago. But this is the camp so far. Got a little bit of a fireplace built. Got some of the ground kind of cleared and flattened here. I think I'm going to put the hammock right between those two trees right there. Just do a quick little overnighter. Just test out some fire starting stuff, and I'm going to unpack. See you in a minute. So here's what the site looks like after last time. This is visit number 2 out there. You can see I got a little bit of a fire pit started. Saw that. Got the little fire reflector screen built behind it. Cleared the ground. Cleared a lot of ground out so we could do a couple different hammock configurations, as well as a couple tarp shelter things we wanted to do. You can see in the background behind me there, I started the framework for a debris wall, but I'm actually going to move it forward up to those 2 trees, just to the right of where it all is now, so that I can hammock where that actual wall is right now in the summertime. So the debris wall will be able to shelter wood in the winter time. All that wood in the foreground there will actually be moved back over under that, kind of like a little lean-to. And then when the fire is going, obviously it'll block that light too. So I have, I'm just using some basic DIY tree straps, webbing, double nest hammock. The ridge line's nothing special. It's just a piece of paracord. That is an awesome rain fly, by the way, that I'm working on right there. It's from Infinity. They make incredible gear. Sil nylon, super light. The rain fly. So it's a 9x9 rain fly with a cat cut on it. It in the bag with the 4 stakes it came with weighs 15 ounces. It's awesome. There are definitely some lighter ones out there, but for the size and having the stakes with it, less than a pound, man, I love it. It's been rained on pretty heavy too, kept me real dry. And this particular one, I'm going to have a big tarp overhead. So you can see the wool blanket went in there underneath. The REI Flash pad, I love the Flash pad. Has a little bit of an R value. Super light. Again, that one's about a pound. Here comes the good old Marmot. So I have a separate video going on the Marmot. This is my first time testing it outside. I played with it around the house and in the backyard before I brought it out. But I couldn't find any videos anywhere. Someone actually using the thing and giving some constructive, I don't know, information about it. The bivy, awesome. 30 bucks on eBay, in perfect condition. The bag fits into it like a glove, like it was made for it. There's the big old tarp right there. I decided to throw that overhead too. Keep all the gear dry and the ground dry underneath me as well, in case I had to put some wood and some things back there. It had been raining for several days, and I knew it was going to start raining again at some point, at least for a while during the night, which it did. You'll see later. So I just tie that baby off, make myself a little roof. Worked great. Love this new spot. You can't really see here this GoPro I'm using. I needed to do some color correction or something. You can't really see. There's a little bit of sun, and some cloud breaks right now. But when I found it, one of the determining factors was the arc of the sun and how much sun it would get in any season really, but especially in the summertime. And it goes from where I just was there to the far left all the way across in an arc from left to right. It's going to get lots of sun. It's fantastic. The moon follows the same arc too, so obviously. So it gets lots of moonlight as well on clear nights. Great campsite. So there's the gear sling. I might have to do a video on that. I basically just copied some videos of some guys who did gathered end hammocks, and I just went out and I bought a couple yards of ripstop nylon, gathered up the ends, whipped the ends, and I just used the leftover from the tree straps that hang down to hang it up, and boom, there it is, man. It's great. Keeps the pack up off the ground. Muddier than hell out there right now too. There's my Tyvek. Here we go. So everything's all set up. Little walk around. I had the GoPro in the waterproof case, so there's no sound really or vocals, in case you're wondering why I'm doing this stupid voiceover. Yeah, there it is from the back. Nice little spot, huh? Will accommodate a lot of hammocks. All right, got everything set up. Got a rain fly on there. Boy, it's hard to see. But let me try to back up a little bit. Well, that sucks in there, doesn't it? But I got a larger tarp overhead too. And then I decided to bring the little gear sling along. Throw the pack in there, and just everything's off the ground. It's soaking wet out here. I have to move the fireplace farther back. It needs to be back farther by the reflector, so I'm going to move it all the way back there, about the back rocks up closer to it, about a foot back, a little more than a foot. And I might at some point move this wall from these two trees up to these front two trees so that we can hammock here across this way when there's two of us. We would be able to hammock that tree to that tree, obviously right there to there, or in a group, you know, if we've got a bunch of people, they can also go from that tree there, there. I mean, there's no shortage at all. But for right now, I'm up close by the fire, and I'll just keep a low one going all night long. Should be pretty good. I don't think I'll burn my freaking hammock into bits.
Okay, got the fireplace moved back closer to the fire screen, and with a small fire shouldn't be a problem back there either. Get a little distance between the hammock and the fire. It's only a few feet though, so it's gonna be real small. That's all right. I wanted it up here close. Gathered some dry cedar from some of those big old stumps that are around. That's gonna be real nice for getting started. I'm gonna use one of the fire cubes, I think, to start some of these sticks, or maybe even some of that fire paste, and try that out. I got some smalls to go. I found a big old alder that was down over there and got it cut up, partially split. I'll split that into some smaller pieces. That'll help keep things going. Some rounds. All this stuff's obviously real damp. Some small rounds from before, some bigger rounds. And you know, if I have to saw a few more pieces throughout the night, I'll be okay. But this should keep going for, oh, I don't know, probably 4 hours worth of fire so far. Gather a few more. I want to probably triple the amount of what I have here, just in case. I have to keep it going real hot if the rain starts coming in. But I don't know, that's where we are so far. So this is what I've got going with the hammock so far. The gear bag underneath. All I did was get some ripstop nylon, gather up the ends and whip them. Works great. Just a couple of yards worth. So I'm doing the bivy and the Marmot 20 in here. I don't have the fleece liner in, but I did bring it. So if it gets real cold, I'll throw the fleece liner in there. I have the flash pad, and I brought the wool blanket just for the hell of it and threw that down underneath the flash pad just to kind of go around the edges a little bit. I think I should be pretty toasty. I tried out that bag at home before I came out, and I was pretty warm in it, so we'll see how it goes. It's only going to get down to 45 tonight. I mean, even if it was 35, I think I'm probably going to be okay with this setup in here. Plus, I've got the fleece liner too, in case I need it, so see how it goes. Okay, that was ridiculous. It took a very long time to get this fire going, even to where it is right now, which is not that great, quite frankly. And I didn't bring a tripod with me. I didn't bring much gear for this with me because I was at a business meeting for a couple of days, and since I was out this way, it was only about a half an hour from where I come out here and camp, and so I brought a couple phones and I brought the GoPro, but no tripod, and I needed two hands. So unfortunately you didn't get to see the misery that I was going through trying to get this goddamn thing going, but I had to use one of those fire tabs, those Weber fire tabs, and I also used a hexamine tablet too to get this thing going. And man, I'm so thankful for these old cedar stumps out here. I was able to chop some bits off of them that were dry and finally get that going, just taking off small pieces at a time and feeding it bit by bit, tiny piece by tiny piece. And finally I'm to the point where I think that cedar is going to keep burning for a little while. I just got to nurture it as this fire lace keeps burning down into more wetter rounds. There's some hemlock and some alder in there, and I mean, you can see how much smoke there is. It's not a hot fire right now at all, but at least it's going. I got a cup up top for right now, kind of warming up with some tea, and I'm just going to keep babying this thing for, well, I don't know, probably the better part of an hour. Really get the coals built up down below, and then hopefully I can get it nice and hot and keep it burning small. And I brought over a nice big piece of alder I can saw and chop on. I can cut those guys up over there. I've got some punky stuff. If it gets hot enough, I can lay it across, like this big old punky piece of cedar up here. And I've got some of this cedar, and quite frankly, it's easy to go over to those stumps and crack off a few pieces, and it's nice and dry, and I can keep doing that as long as I need to. Maybe feed in a few of these wetter rounds over here and get them to dry out and start on fire. later in the evening once it's a little warmer. As you can hear, it's raining. Not real hard, but I'm under all these hemlocks right now. It's sheltering me a little bit, and then of course the tarp, but shit. It sucks trying to get this fire going. Believe me. Finally got a respectable fire going, and I get some stuff heated up for dinner. Some pasta in there in the old Stanley. Some hot liquid. Decent coal bed in there. I swear though, every time I turn around I have to adjust and blow that thing back into flame and pamper the shit out of it. A little tiny bit of breeze. Put up the reflective tarp over on this side. Still raining. Boy, you can't really see anything on this camera. It's a little tiny bit of twilight left. It's I don't know, about 6 o'clock. Might be an early night. Not much going on but baby in the fire. Yeah, the quality of the video on this damn phone that I'm using for this is you can't see the moon. It's a nice 3/4 moon. Rain stopped. Obviously some of the clouds are gone away now. There we go, there we go, there we go. Actually, it only looks like it's a few days from full. Putting out a ton of light right now. Fire's finally going. I went and cut a bunch more cedar. I've just basically been burning that dry cedar all night. This other stuff I feed a couple pieces in here and there, but you know, I don't know, for the next couple of hours anyway. It's worth just making trips over to one of those giant cedar stumps and trashing it and get myself some nice dry wood. Burns for a long time, but I got to keep it going bigger than I wanted to, unfortunately. I guess now that the rain stopped though, as soon as I dry out my pants and my coat, probably let it burn down a little bit and crash for a while, or in a while. I don't know if there's enough light now to see camp. Finally got it burning nice and hot. The cedar burns for a long time too. It's great stuff. Even small pieces really burn a long time, and finally got the ground hot. Oops, sorry, I'm taking my gloves off. Finally got the ground hot, and decent little coal bed down there, and this is really the fire I wanted to begin with. It's just a, you know, kind of low and nice and hot. I can actually stand next to it and dry off. And now it's all dark, nothing really left for me to do but just talk a little bit. Well, I wish you guys could be out here and see this. It's with the moon out like that, guys. Camera, you just can't see it. It doesn't do it justice at all. There's just a wash of bluish white light everywhere out here. It's amazing. Really nice now that the wind is kind of calmed down, no rain. Actually, a little bit of breeze is kind of nice. It's sort of blowing the smoke away and keeping the fire going a little bit better too. Yeah, it's nice out here. It's a little spooky though. You ever notice when you're out in the woods at night, everything really closes in You know, it doesn't ever look anything like it does in the daytime. You know, those trees look different. I love it though. It's tough work out here. Alone. Wintertime in our area is not that cold, not snowy, but God, it's wet. Really wet. I mean, it's tough to get a fire going and keep a fire going here. It's tough to find anything dry, at least in cold climates in the winter. You know, there's no humidity and things are dry. You can find dry wood. And I'm not talking about digging through the snow, but you know, on the trees around here, not even. Miraculous that about an inch into those old cedar stumps is all that dry wood. A great tip. I wish I would have known that sooner. We thought they were all just rotten all the way. I mean, they look like it. You know, they don't look like they're useful for anything. We stuck an axe in one last time we were out here a few weeks ago, and lo and behold, it was nice and dry inside. So, be nice for going to sleep too. Put some nice bigger pieces on there and just let them go. You know, burn for a couple of hours, get a little of that residual heat around. Be nice. Well, I think it's time for another hot drink and maybe hang out for a little while longer and sack it in. Thanks for joining me, listen to me ramble, watching Caveman TV. But God, I'll tell you, whenever I watch other people's videos and they're doing the same thing, oh man, makes me want to be out there so bad. Gotta love it. It's amazing. All right. Good night, everybody.